If you have a person you would like held up during Of Our Hearts, please provide it in writing before the start of the service using the book at the back of the sanctuary, or place their names in the chat. If you have an announcement, please submit it by the end of business on Friday so we can include it in our nifty pre-roll. You can find the link to submit announcements at uuclv.org or in the Flash. We broadcast a video feed for our virtual attendees. If you wish to not be recorded, please sit to the back or the sides of the sanctuary. We ask that you silence any noise-making rectangles, and please refrain from using the chat or talking in the sanctuary until the end of the service, so we may stay in a worshipful frame of mind. After the service, please stay for our coffee hour, which is also a potluck today. If this is your first time visiting, you are our guest. Finally, having your chosen name and pronouns visible during service is an act of love and kindness. For those in the sanctuary, we encourage you to use your name tags, which include your pronouns. For those in our virtual space, we ask that you edit your name to include your pronouns. Now let's get started with the ringing of the bell. When we gather together, we light the chalice, a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. The chalice reminds us that we are connected to a much larger religious tradition that stretches out of the past, reaches around the world, and leans into our shared future. And now join with me. We light the chalice as a reminder that together we are a beacon in the desert. May its light lead to love, acceptance, and justice as we strive for personal, societal transformation.
We didn't quite get the chalice lit yet, but he's going to light it while I do the opening words. Good morning, everybody. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. And I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. That's from the collected poems of Langston Hughes, published by Knopf.
The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Las Vegas is situated on the traditional homelands of the Nuuvi Southern Paiute people. We are grateful for the land itself, for those who have stewarded it for generations, and for the opportunity to worship, learn, work, grow, and be in community with this land and her peoples. We encourage everyone present here to engage in continued learning about the Indigenous peoples who work and live on this land since time immemorial, including the Las Vegas Paiute tribe and the Moapa Band of Paiutes, and about the historical and present realities of colonialism. It is important to recognize and appreciate the use of Southern Paiute land as part of our mission to be a welcoming and inclusive place of worship, spiritual enrichment, and exploration within the community. Here is some suggested learning. Did you know that the saguaro cacti have edible fruit? They are called the truffle of the desert by the Tohono O'odham and have been harvested every summer for hundreds of years. Also, Nevada has at least 2 Native American leaders. Consider learning about the history of one of them, Sarah Winnemucca, a Paiute from Northern Nevada. We will be reading chapters of her autobiography and having monthly discussions from March until June.
Our reading for the morning is an excerpt from a commencement speech made by Michele Obama in 2021. Apparently, she made it online at that time. And the quote that I am reading begins with her second lesson for the audience to whom she was speaking. It goes as follows, quote, "That leads me to my second lesson. In an uncertain world, time-tested values like honesty and integrity, empathy and compassion. That's the only real currency in life. Treating people right will never, ever fail you." Now, I'm not naive. I know that you can climb a long way up the ladder selling falsehoods and blaming others for your own shortcomings, shunning those with less privilege and advantage. But that's a heavy way to live. It deadens your spirit and it hardens your heart. It may seem like a winning strategy in the short run, but trust me, that kind of life catches up with you. You rob yourself of the things that matter most. Deep and loving connections with others, honest work that leads to lasting contributions to your community, the vibrancy that comes from a diversity of ideas and perspectives, the chance to leave the world a little better than you found it. Don't deprive yourself of that. There is no substitute for it. Instead, make a decision to use your privilege and your voice for the things that really matter, which is my third lesson today. To share that voice with the rest of the world. Now we're going to sing a welcome song, and I'm pleased to introduce to you my friend, Audifac Ignace, who's going to do drumming for us as we sing Thenga alafia. Everybody say that? Ashe, ashe. Those are all the words, and we want you to stand because you're also going to do a little movement. And I will sing it first, and then Audifac is going to join in with the drums, and we're going to have a little fun with our welcome song. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. That's all the words. That's why we didn't print them out for you, okay? Okay, now we're going to do a little movement with it. You're going to hit your chest when you say, Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Okay, now the next time around, we're gonna go Thenga alafia, ashe, ashe. Here means with my heart, I welcome you. Here means with my head, I welcome you. Okay, let's go. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Now, to our Zoom audience, we want to do it a little bit differently. From our hearts to the air. All right? Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Okay, now this time and the last time, I want you to turn and greet the people. Turn to the aisle. Turn to the aisle. And we will sing and greet the people across from us, okay? Let's go. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thenga lafia, ashe, ashe. Thank you. Mairin, are you ready with the... Oh, I'm supposed to be on next. Yep. I thought we were having Of Our Hearts next. But I'm on. Our wisdom piece for today, I chose from a number of poems that I've written. And I chose it so that you could think a bit about the issue of race in our society. We tread very muddy waters regarding race, and it's up to us to come to some conclusion about how we're going to handle that. And this little poem is called Black or White. That day, my mama away from home. Daddy dressed me up. Heard a knock on the door. Daddy run to open. White man enters. Hug my daddy. Daddy calling me. Come here, child. Meet your great uncle. Daddy holds my hand. Daddy say, he's my papa's brother. Daddy smile. They hug again. White man grabbed me in his arms, hoist me high, kiss me, look me in the eye and say, you pretty just like your grandma. Sad she didn't live to see. Daddy know I don't understand. Who is this white man? It puzzles me. Daddy sits next to him and talk. Something about parents who died too soon. Brothers left alone. They sad. Then they happy. Then they sad again. Daddy reach out to me and pull me close. Let's go get ice cream. White man agree. Daddy and great uncle both take my hand. I happy. We walk, they talk. Daddy tan, I brown. My great uncle white. But that's okay with me. At the store, we all order chocolate ice cream.
We will now ground ourselves in the present and honor those with whom we will share this time. I invite you to settle into your seat. Feel the chair holding your body. Imagine the earth holding you. Take in a comfortable breath. Exhale. Let the joy and the despair and the frustration and the satisfaction of the week trickle off your shoulders. Let it collect in your hands. Set them down, not ignored or abandoned. They will join you on the rest of your journey today, but let them rest. Allow yourself to be present in this space. Now, please find a way to acknowledge those with whom we share this time together. You might smile, or place your hands over your heart, or give a small wave. I invite you now to return to the larger circle. If you have someone you would like to be held up, please add their names to the chat. And today we will hold up, just a second. Bobby Lloyd, the Peck family, Arabella Tetlow, who's now on steroids and is very grumpy and hungry, Jane Corgell, Camilla Barbara, and are there any names in the chat?
We have Al, Joni, and Marianne.
May we hold all those displaced or alone, and all those names spoken here, and all those held in the silence of our hearts, in love and compassion.
instead of the usual reflections, since we are blessed to have my dear friend Audifac Ignace with us, he's going to do a song with us from his heritage. And you may be able to participate. Will they participate?
Yes.
I also wanted to let you know that Audifac Ignace is a writer, and he has a wonderful set of books called Cuckoo and Destiny. I don't know if he brought a copy with him today. Okay, he can get the copy from the car. Although there are animal characters, the story speaks to social issues, and I highly recommend them to you. But at the break, you may want to talk more with Audifac about that. But now he's going to do a special offering for us. Thank you. Okay, you got it.
This song I'm going to sing together with you is my grandma's song. Grandma Nkwane, who was living in the deep forest of Cameroon, Africa, where I was born and where I came from. The title is Come in Peace, Go in Peace. That's the title of this song. You're going to answer only this one. Mean yes, I agree. Okay, and I'm going to sing this word. Okay, meaning I came here in peace and I'm going back in peace. Tell your brother that I came here in peace, I'm going back to peace. Accept with me. That's the meaning. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell your mama, your cousin, that I came here in peace and I'm going back in the peace. That is the meaning of this song. So let us go together. Okay. Can I hear the voice, please, of only the men? And the woman? Okay. When you pass, I'm hearing the voice of the man. The voice, when you my farmer to me, when you samba, to go back with you, I said, when you remember, when you don't stop, so that I'm going to use the drum now. When I'm going to sing, we're going to do it together. That means I accept. I came here in peace, and I'm going back to peace. I let my brother be talking to my friend that I came here in peace, and I'm going back to peace. So for now, I'm going to first hit the drum, warming the drum. Thank you very much.
The song "We Who Believe in Freedom," we will sit and listen to it. It's
As you know, we are in our pledge drive season. During these weeks, we will invite members of the congregation to come forward and talk about why they love UUCLV. This week, we will hear from Gino.
Hi. I'm kind of new here, as some of you know, so it's also an introduction speech about me and my wife, Teresa. My full name is Eugenio Ferrari. It's an Italian name. So my first disclaimer is that I have an accent. If you don't understand me, that's okay. You'll tune into my accent by the time I'm done talking. And also, there's nothing wrong with your hearing aid. It's me. And then the second disclaimer is that when I talk in public, I get excited, which makes it worse to be understood. Apologies for that. So we came here in 2021. It was COVID. We were finally able to join or come for the first time to the congregation last year in Christmas. And Christmas always gives me a hard time. What is Christmas? Is the birth of Jesus, of course. And it's not kind of like horrified. Why am I the UU and we are celebrating Jesus? And I was born Catholic and I didn't come to the UU to continue the Catholic tradition. All right. I have one funny story for you, which is absolutely true. We moved here from Anchorage, Alaska, and we were a member at the congregation over there. One of the ceremony during the service was a group of everybody, whoever wanted could stand up, line up in the center aisle and come to the front, to the altar, it is called altar. And there were two big bowls. One was a bowl of pebbles and one was a bowl of water. It was called Joys and Sorrows. People could talk about their joys or their sorrows, share it with the congregation or keep them in their heart. And they would pick up one rock from the dry bowl and put it in the water. Symbolic, I guess. And then once they did that, they will wind up and go back on the side aisle, back to their seat. Well, I don't know your background, but if that's not like Catholic communion, geez, can you get rid of this Catholicism? I wanted to pick up one pebble and just swallow it. And then pick up the bowl and drink from it. And then look at the pastor, go like, what, wrong church? Well, I'm glad that at least you're laughing and you're having fun. I have a quote. It goes like this. I have been so greatly disappointed with the white church and its leadership. And only 2 lines later, I must honestly reiterate that I've been disappointed with church. And some of you might recognize it. It's not one else than Martin Luther King in letters from Birmingham jail. He also continues saying, I'm not saying this as one of those negative critics who can always find something wrong with the church. And I'm saying, sorry, Martin, I'm one of them. I always find something wrong with the church. Yeah, I do. So far, you found out that, yes, of course, I'm anti-Catholic. Let's stretch it, anti-religious and anti-theist as well. So anti-religious, it's probably pretty obvious for a lot of you. I mean, religions are human organizations that try to interpret the gospel, if there is one. They're businesses, and they're designed to corrupt and control society. It's very hard for me to stick with religion. Anti-theist, it's a little bit more pushy. The definition on Wikipedia for anti-theist, again, the accent, anti-theist, it's hard. Definition is anti-theism is the philosophical position that theism should be opposed. All right, pretty simple. Or quoting Christopher Hitchens, whoever he is, but I really love this quote. I not only maintain that all religions are versions of the same untruth, but I hold that the influence of churches and the effect of religion belief is positively harmful. All right, you have it. Thanks for not kicking me out. So I cannot be anti-everything. I need to stand for something and somewhere. So what am I? Randomly, I landed on the definition of apatheist. Apatheist. And it gave me shivers when I read it because it was exactly what I felt for years, unable to put it in words. Apatheist, from the Greek a, negative, not, pathos, care, emotions, and theist, no, God. So I don't care for God. Again, back to Wikipedia, our universal source of knowledge. Apatheism is the attitude of empathy, sorry, from scratch. Apatheism is the attitude of apathy, of course, toward the existence or non-existence of God. It is more of an attitude rather than a belief, claim, or belief system. When it comes to morality, still Wikipedia says, this apatheistic argument states that morals do not come from God. And if God existed, there would be no change with regard to morality. Therefore, a God existence or non-existence is irrelevant. I hope some of you have the same shiver I had the first time, and I still have reading it. That doesn't mean that humanity is a lawless wasteland. It's actually quite the opposite. It's empowering humanity to use their empathy, their heart, and their understanding of what it is to be human to decide what's right or wrong. It's exciting. You might have noticed it's a very long way to say that I am humanist. I could have said that and it would have lasted 10 seconds and you could have continued, but you know, it's no fun. So why am I here? Well, first, the apatheist for sure was a big one. And I'm here because I think at the end these ideas fit here. And so I belong here. Who doesn't want to belong somewhere? No, I tend to be a lonely wolf, but even wolves have a pack. So and later on, completely random, I was going through my own search of good and bad and right and wrong and spirituality, which still eludes me greatly. And I landed randomly on the UU website of that Anchorage Fellowship. And I randomly landed on their 7 principles because what I read was appealing to me. So I kept reading, which we don't do often with websites. And so I landed on the 7 principles and I went, yeah. And so I was on board. So I found my philosophical position with apatheism and also the group of people where I think I belong. I think I belong here. And so you have it. And go ahead, feel free to celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, and Ramadan if you want. I love you anyway. No, one more. Sorry, you want to get rid of me. No, one more. We live in a secular society. It takes money to run the electricity. It takes money for everything. And so we pledge and we try to support this congregation. I don't think it's difficult to explain why. If I have to, a bigger problem. Also, you look like a group of people that listen to NPR. So they always ask for money. So why wouldn't we, as you ask for money? I put my mouth where my money is, or I put my money where my mouth is, which are both gross, but at least it makes the point. Thank you.
We gather as a religious community to give each one of us a place where we can do the work of many. The offering supports the mission of the congregation to be a beacon of love and justice in the desert and supports local organizations working to make our community a better place for all. The offering this month is shared with the Selena Childhood Diabetes Fund. The fund assists Southern Nevada families with costs not covered by insurance, including lancets, needles, copays, and medication for the treatment of type 1 diabetes. The link to donate your offering will be in the chat or on Zoom, and there will be plates passed around in the sanctuary. And now join with me. With gratitude for the abundance in our own lives, we give for the life of this congregation and the benefit of the larger community. Thank you for your gifts of time and talent.
As you can gather from what we've done this morning, our theme for today is rivers, and we wanted to place some emphasis on African American spirituals. Our sermon is actually a poem. Again, a poem I wrote some time ago. The poem traces the life of African Americans in America, the rivers they've had to cross to arrive at where we are today. I interspersed with the poem some lines from African American spirituals. It's called Lamentations and Exhortation. Tortuous chains at dark skins tore. Human cargo by thousands lay in store. Stowage packed, sickened by stench and stale air, goaded by stick and whip, on deck for repair. Weakened bodies pulled from fetid space and told to exercise, shuffle, dance, or pace. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows my sorrow. Thundering drums of Africa cried out where they stood, pounding, stomping feet on planks of wood, ships forever stained by blood and grief. Bound captives jumped to final relief. Igbo landing marks the deep where some chose to die, enslavement rejected, drowning the only way to fly. Now give me 2 wings so I can fly. Give me 2 wings to hide my feet. Give me 2 wings so I can fly where the world can't do me no harm. Hands raw, bodies weary, forced to work the land, families torn apart, sold as property in hand. determined to survive in hope for a better day, helped by kin already free, few stole away. Persons of conscience formed an underground rail for captives, rivers, and stars, the runaway trail. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, I want to cross over into campground. When the sun goes down in the western sky, watch that star and see how to run. Barns and attics, active railroad stations, hundreds vanished from plantation. Captors showed no remorse. Dogs and hunters sought their prey. Return of property signs placed on display. The hunted were undaunted. Freedom was the goal. Conductors ticketed many trips, and death took its toll. Get on board, little children, get on board. There's room for many more. This train, bound for glory, this train, carrying only the righteous and the holy, this train. After years of toil and warfare, the chattel were released. No money, no land, plight of poverty increased. Partially untethered, some traveled north to be, quote, free. In sway stood inner strength and resiliency. The chains were cut. Sharecropping substituted slavery. White supremacy posed as manifest destiny. I've been buked and I've been scorned. I've been talked about, sure you born. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Why not every man? Jim Crow laws were declared, separation signed, former captives never equal, always to walk behind. Perfected the language, saluted the nation's flag, built the South's economy, emancipated, but in rags. Rich planters dispossessed, power prolonged, taunted, chanted, go back where you belong. Just like a tree planted by the river, we shall not be moved. I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I started from. Producing doctors, scientists, and inventors, freedmen followed every trend allowed to enter. Fought foreign wars, revealing hero faces. Upon return, directed back to their places. The scorned survived under no illusions. The Republic of the Free feared African infusion. Went to the rock to hide my face. Rock cried out, no hiding place down here. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. And the walls came tumbling down. Confronting destitution, never giving up the fight, people of color sought justice with all their might. They worked, they sang, and never tired. Migrated from the South and still met with ire. Everywhere unwelcome and separated. But they created Renaissance enclaves and celebrated. Rock of my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Oh, rock of my soul. Oh, what a beautiful city. Oh, what a beautiful city. 12 gates to the city. Hallelujah. Rebel families with small children in tow gathered to watch strange fruit shows. Lynchings. Men jeered, humiliated, protesting for rights long awaited. Good people, all cultures and generations joined in resistance, challenging the nation. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home and be free. Laws passed, progress was made. Jim Crow hid, but kept its trade. Raised its vicious head with impunity. Mobs, the Klan, burned homes and communities. Nonviolence met wayward law, officers in legions. Stunned viewers watched in worldwide regions. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Walking down Freedom Way. Walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting on the other side. The mourning descendants of those enslaved yearn for an America dreamed of and craved, where humans, recycled bits of stardust, hold reverence for life. Examples for the world, promoting peace and rejecting strife. Boots off the neck of freedom, breathing authoritatively. Democracy is the legacy, all in that company. There's peace like a river. There is peace like a river. There is peace like a river in my soul. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. and study war no more. That ends Lamentations and Exhortations. Now we're all going to stand and sing our closing hymn, Down by the Riverside. Audifac, you want to come to the drums and see if you want to chime in with us with some drums as we sing? Okay, it goes like this. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside to study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
All right. So, okay. Live Your Values. UUCLV partners with 3 Square Food Pantry to host a monthly food pantry here at the church. It's normally on the 3rd Saturday of the month. This month it was yesterday because of President's Day. If you're unable to participate, consider donating some money to our pantry fund to buy additional food or bring some shelf-stable foods to be used at the next pantry or when someone in need knocks at the door. Boxes for donations are in the social hall or mark food pantry on your check. Also, the UUA's Side with Love campaign continues with their 30 Days of Love. They are offering resources to our community that we can use. This week's theme is resilience and climate justice. These resources can be found at their website, sidewithlove.org.
Now our benediction, remembering the continuing path to freedom for African Americans and all of us. We close with hope that in spite of unceasing worldwide turmoil, one day we will all lay down our swords and shields and study war no more. Amen.
And now join with me. We release that which was called with love and gratitude, and we extinguish the flame, but not our commitment to being a beacon in the desert. This burns brightly until we gather again.